minus 70 degrees Celsius. Engines left running for days because if you turn them off, they may never start again. Breath freezes mid-air, metal cracks, eyelashes crystallize. This is not Antarctica. This is Siberia. Larger than the United States and Europe combined, Siberia stretches across northern Asia like a continent hidden inside a country. But size is not what defines it. Cold does. In the village of Oymyakon, winter is not a season, it is the foundation of life. Temperatures here have plunged lower than almost anywhere humans permanently live. Yet school doors still open, markets still operate.
How much for the carrots?
2 for a coin.
2 for a coin.
Children walk through the frost, wrapped in layers of fur. Survival here isn't dramatic, it's engineered into routine. Fish freeze solid in open markets. Fuel must be stored carefully. Water pipes can't be buried underground. The ground itself is permanently frozen. Because beneath Siberia lies permafrost. A layer of Earth that hasn't thawed in tens of thousands of years. Cities like Yakutsk are built on top of it, balanced on concrete stilts to prevent buildings from melting the frozen soil below. Pipes run above ground like exposed veins. In winter, fog swallows the skyline, and the world feels suspended between solid and vapor. Even rivers adapt. The Lena River becomes liquid highway in summer and frozen road in winter. Trucks drive across its surface. Entire supply chains depend on ice thick enough to hold them. Here, nature dictates engineering. But permafrost holds more than foundations. It holds history. Woolly mammoths have emerged from this frozen ground with fur intact, stomach contents preserved. Creatures from the Ice Age, not fossilized, frozen. Siberia does not just preserve life. It preserves time. And yet, the cold that protected this archive for millennia is slowly weakening. because Siberia's greatest power is not only its cold. In the Far East, the Earth does not freeze. It burns.
Siberia's eastern edge is unstable.
Kamchatka, a remote peninsula reaching into the Pacific, sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire. Here, tectonic plates collide beneath the ocean floor, forcing the Earth upward in violent bursts. More than 300 volcanoes rise across this landscape. Nearly 30 remain active. Snow-covered peaks release ash into Arctic skies. The tallest among them, Kluchevskaya Sopka, towers above the region, a near-perfect volcanic cone that reminds you this land is still forming. There are few roads here. Many places can only be reached by helicopter. From above, Kamchatka looks prehistoric. Steam rises from geothermal vents. Rivers carve through black lava fields. The ground trembles without warning. In the Valley of Geysers, the Earth breathes visibly. Jets of boiling water erupt in rhythmic explosions. Mud pots bubble. Sulfur fills the air. This is not frozen stillness. This is motion. And life thrives in it. Brown bears gather along salmon-rich rivers in numbers rarely seen elsewhere. At Kuril Lake, one of the largest salmon runs on Earth, feeds an entire ecosystem shaped by volcanic minerals and isolation. Offshore, the Kuril Islands stretch toward Japan, jagged, windswept, and sparsely inhabited. Storm systems collide here without warning. Sea lions crowd rocky outcrops. Small settlements cling to coastlines where fishing defines survival. Beneath the surface, tectonic forces continue shifting. Earthquakes ripple through the peninsula. Coastlines rise and fall. Snow blankets active craters. Glaciers rest beside lava flows. Fire and ice share the same ground. But Siberia's extremes are not limited to temperature or eruption. Some of its most powerful forces move far more slowly, measured not in explosions, but in millions of years. In northern Siberia, the Putorana Plateau rises abruptly from the taiga, a vast basalt fortress formed by ancient lava flows over 250 million years ago. No roads lead here. No permanent towns interrupt it. Cliffs drop hundreds of meters into narrow canyons. Thousands of waterfalls plunge from flat-topped mesas into shadowed valleys below. From above, the plateau resembles fractured stone geometry, too precise to feel natural. But it is. Winter locks it in silence. Summer briefly unlocks tundra bloom under endless daylight. Further south, the Lena pillars rise like stone cathedrals along the Lena River, vertical limestone spires carved by erosion over unimaginable spans of time. At sunrise, they glow amber. At dusk, they cast shadows across the water like ancient guardians. And then there is the Altai. Mountain ranges stretching across borders, carrying layers of human history in their valleys. Petroglyphs etched into rock. Burial mounds preserving ancient warriors in frozen ground. Nomadic traditions still moving across alpine meadows beneath snow-capped peaks. Here, geology and humanity overlap. And then, unexpectedly, desert. The Chara Sands appear like a mirage, rolling dunes surrounded by forest and distant mountains. A pocket of wind-shaped sand formed by glacial sediment. In winter, frost coats its ridges. In summer, heat ripples across its surface. Siberia does not follow rules. It holds contradiction within a single horizon. Volcanoes, frozen cities, basalt plateaus, desert dunes. And yet, none of these define its center. Because at the heart of Siberia lies something deeper than stone. something older than eruption: water. Lake Baikal is not simply a lake. It is the deepest freshwater body on Earth. The oldest, holding nearly 20% of the planet's unfrozen freshwater supply. But statistics fail to explain it. In winter, Baikal becomes a sheet of crystal. Ice forms in transparent layers, trapping air bubbles that look like suspended galaxies. Cracks stretch for kilometers across the surface. Vehicles drive across water frozen more than a meter thick, above depths reaching over 1,600 meters. You are walking above an abyss. In summer, the ice retreats. Mountains reflect in cold, clear water. Fishing villages rest quietly along the shore. The lake rarely warms, even in sunlight. Baikal is alive. Thousands of species exist nowhere else on Earth. The Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal species, swims in its depths. Microscopic organisms filter the water so efficiently that visibility can reach astonishing clarity. And beneath it all, tectonic forces slowly pull the basin wider each year. Baikal is not shrinking. It is expanding. One day, in millions of years, it may become an ocean. For centuries, indigenous Buryat communities have honored this lake through spiritual tradition. Sacred sites line its shores. Prayer ribbons flutter in the wind. At dawn, mist rises from its surface. At night, stars reflect in near-perfect symmetry. Here, Siberia reveals its final truth. It is not empty. It is not lifeless. It is not frozen desolation. It is power, expressed through cold, fire, stone, and depth. A land where nature does not negotiate. It does not adapt. It does not yield. It remains. And that is why Siberia is not merely a region. It is a world that still belongs to itself.